This is why I don't play video games anymore. It's just incredibly boring and dull. It's just boring and dull. It's all based around hype. Every single game released now is not based on the actual gameplay content or the story or the reputation of the actual game developer. No, it's all based around hype. That's all it is. It's all it is. Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo, all based around hype. Even the newest GTA games are based around hype. GTA 5, it wasn't as good as a game as people say it was. Sure, it was good, but is it like the best story-wise? No, it's not. It's just the hype. It's just the graphics get better. Everything's just bigger. But story-wise, that's not good. I mean, do you really think everybody's going to be able to explore every nick and cranny inside the game? I mean, seriously. I mean, GTA 5, GTA 5. I mean, okay, the game's bigger, but what is there? Like, seriously, story-wise, the game's not bigger. I mean, sure, you divide up the characters into 3 people. Ooh, wow. I mean, seriously, did you really have to do that? I mean, they're all the same. They're all basically played the same and everything. I mean, one's just more crazier than the other. I mean, come on now. Come on now. It's not the best game in the world. I'd rather play San Andreas all the way through than GTA 5 all the way through, because San Andreas has a better story. Vice City has a better story. GTA 4 even has a better story. But in GTA 5, the characters are just flat and boring, and you can't even deny this. Every single game released in the so-called modern era of video gaming, meaning post new console area, which means 2013 and above, every single game has been based around hype. Battlefield 1 based around hype. Oh, the graphics are so good. It released a good gameplay trailer. I mean, come on now. The gameplay trailer was released based on nostalgia about a war nobody's even ever seen in their lifetime. I mean, come on now. Come on now. They released the trailer with these nostalgic editing. I don't know. I mean, every single video game trailer released now uses the same repetitive format in their trailers to try to get people hyped and pumped for their games. It's pathetic. They're pandering to their audience instead of actually releasing an art form. I mean, come on. When I played Halo 1, I felt like I was playing art. Like I was playing something that the makers didn't care whether people liked it or not, to the extent that game makers do care to this day. I mean, they just wanted to make a good game. That's all they cared about. They wanted to make a good game. They didn't care about marketing or anything else. They're not going to change the format of their game just to please marketing and make the best sales possible. I mean, seriously, it's all about story back then. And nowadays, it's just all about maximizing profit. I mean, look at Halo 5. I mean, that game was garbage. I mean, anybody can tell you that. Ask anybody, ask even the most brain dead of video gamers, and they'll even tell you the game was trash. They'll even tell you. I mean, it's no secret now. I've been saying that since Halo 4. I couldn't even finish Halo 4. I just couldn't. The game was trash. The game was trash. I couldn't get past the second level in every single Halo game. Previously, I've been able to finish the game in a matter of 3 days or less, because that's how fun the games were. The soundtracks were amazing, the gameplay, the voice acting. But now it's just redundant. Everything's just bland now. In every single game, the voice acting is just bland, cookie cutter. I mean, we don't have any iconic voice actors now. It's just, oh, go to objective B. Oh, go to objective A. Oh, do this, do that. I mean, it's just garbage. It's cliche. Everything's just cliche. It's just they're trying too hard to copy off of different franchises. I mean, make your own stuff. I mean, we're not out of ideas, people. I mean, there's still millions of other ideas out there, but it's just that marketers and executives are just so stupid and so non-risk taking that they just will not allow their companies to release risky game plots and ideas. I mean, it's not rocket science, people. I mean, just look at it's going downhill. It's worse than it's ever been. I haven't touched a video game in I think, like, was it been 2.5 years? 2.5 years, that's how long it's been since I touched a video game. And the only reason I'd even consider touching a video game now is to play previous games I played before the dark era of video games. I mean, what clown would play Modern Warfare 5, or I lost track of the Call of Duties at this point, but who wants to play Halo 6? Oh, another cookie cutter plot. I mean, they already messed it up. I admit, Halo 4's campaign, from what I read, the story was not that bad. The gameplay was just a deal breaker for me, but the story itself was not that bad from what I've read. And Halo 5 was a chance to redeem themselves in that aspect, but they messed it up. They made it at least 10 times worse than Halo 4. Now the game isn't even playable, and guess what? You only play Master Chief for, I think, like 3 missions. I never even touched Halo 5. I just watched the cutscenes on the internet to keep me up to date with the tragic state of the Halo universe. It's funny at this point how people will defend these franchises with their dying breath, but all they can do is copy off of each other, or fail to innovate. Like Battlefield 1 and Battlefront, all they do is just, run around the map, shoot people. I mean, sure, that's fun, but it gets old fast. You gotta mix it up. I mean, no first-person shooter can thrive while being the same with each iteration of their game. You have to add something new, at least one new feature with each game. But it seems like EA, they're just doing the same thing over and over again and expecting people to shell out $60, $70, or sometimes even over $100 for the same product over and over again. I mean, what sort of brain dead sap would buy this piece of trash? I mean, what sort of goofball would even pride themselves on being conned every year? You're annually being conned every single year buying the same product. 2K, the same garbage every single year. Oh, they supposedly updated the graphics. No, they didn't. They just made everything shinier. They literally just made everything shinier, and you idiots go after it like dogs. Oh, just because it's shinier, we're just gonna buy your product like brain dead idiots. I mean, come on, am I the only person that sees the garbage going on in all these industries? I mean, every industry is bad, don't get me wrong. There's very few industries that are actually somewhat good and somewhat competent, but the video game industry has to be one of the worst, but right behind Hollywood in terms of decline at this point. I mean, you know it's bad when you have somebody who used to play video games daily for at least, I don't know, 7 hours a day when I was in school and I had no friends. I mean, 7 hours a day, every day, including weekends and weekdays. I used to play video games from when I got home from school to when 2 o'clock in the morning, basically. And then you made me just stop cold turkey because it was just so bad. I mean, even if I wanted to continue playing video games, I couldn't. There was nothing to play. There was just nothing. I mean, I went to GameStop and I went through every single creek and crevice of the store, and I could not find a single game that even remotely interests me. I mean, they've even slacked with the covers of the video games themselves. Even the covers of video games don't look appealing anymore. I mean, back in the day, they used to explain what actually goes on in the game, what the game's about. They used to show enticing enticing little pictures with action and stuff. But now they don't show anything. It's just one picture with one or two characters, if even, and then just a background. And you'll be lucky if you get any plot information on the back of your covers these days. It's just garbage. It's like they're not even trying. It's like they're not even trying. And they're complaining and crying when gamers ask tough questions to developers. And it's funny because even if you do ask the tough questions to developers, they won't even, they'll just lie to you. They'll just lie to you. They've completely lost trust. They've completely lost the trust they had from their consumers. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, and they're wondering, they're complaining why their pockets are getting emptier and emptier. I mean, even PC gaming is going down the toilet. I know PC gaming is better than console gaming, but that's only because of the amount of freedom you get. But in terms of your selection of games, it remains relatively the same, except you get mods and stuff. I mean, you can get a mediocre game and turn it good with the use of mods. Trust me, I've done that numerous times. But it just keeps getting worse and worse. And there's no... And really the only innovative thing we've had within the last 10 years was VR. I mean, when you think about it, that's the only innovative technology we've had in video games in like the last 10 years. I mean, sure, there have been minor innovations since then, but come on now. You can't even lie. Like, what big thing that like blew your mind happened? I mean, we don't get graphic improvements to the point where it's like worth buying a game over anymore. This isn't like the 90s where graphics were just improving non-stop. And not even the early 2000s. And even in the early 2000s, graphics improved non-stop. Now it's just so realistic, we can't even tell the difference anymore. I mean, you could just improve the graphics like 10 times fold, but it's just so good. It only gets so good. We're at the point of it being photorealistic now, which means we can barely get any better than this. And if we do, I mean, pretty much the only graphic innovations we've had in like the last 10 years has been motion blur. Oh, let's just put a whole bunch of motion blur into all of our first-person shooters and pray that the graphics look better than they do. I mean, it's just cheap. Oh, let's slap on some motion blur. That'll make it more interesting. No, that doesn't make the graphics any better. That actually just annoys your gamer and just makes them more impaired while playing the game. Congratulations, you just completely destroyed gameplay. I mean, come on now. The only thing they're doing is making everything shinier and slapping on motion blur. It's redundant at this point. I mean, just the thought of picking up a controller makes me disgusted at this point. How people willingly shell out $150 for a supposed elite controller. Really, Xbox? Really, a elite controller that breaks as soon as you touch it? I mean, it's garbage. What moron would even have faith in any of these companies? PlayStation, no, the system. It's a better version that's coming out. It's better. It's better. It's faster too. I mean, come on now. Is it really faster? Is it really faster? You know the games are gonna play at the exact same speed they've always been playing. It's not gonna improve the gameplay. I mean, sure, it's already. I mean, every game is already at 60 frames per second. And they're not going to improve the graphics, so why does it even matter if it's faster? No. I mean, it can already do everything they've already said. So why would the person who already owns a PlayStation 4 shell out another $400 or so just to get a supposed newer console? Because these companies could care less. They just want every single excuse to pick up every single dime out of your pocket that they possibly can. That's all they care about. That's all they could possibly care about. I mean, and people complain on the comment section saying I'm No, you're just a hater. No, I'm not a hater. I'm honestly just voicing my 100% whole opinion.